So everyone, this is DomisLive and welcome to DomisLive News. Hope you guys are doing great. So a brand new song was just released by French Montana and it's featuring Drake. And if you guys want the link to the song, I'll have that for you. Just stay tuned and I'll tell you guys how to get it in this video. Now on this song, Drake takes some shots at Joe Budden. Now a lot of people out there didn't believe that Drake was actually aiming at Joe until this song happened because, the guy just mentions his name. When does that happen in rap anymore when an actual rapper mentions another rapper's name in a diss? Now, these two have been beefing with each other for quite some time. The whole beef started off with Joe Budden being a little critical of Drake on his podcast. Now, I listen to Joe Budden's podcast all the time. I think it's one of the best podcasts that there is. Listen to it on iTunes. So he had some very interesting things to say about Drake, and Drake didn't like what he had to say. He basically said that Drake was at his peak and he wasn't sure if we were going to see a better version of Drake. He also talked about Drake jumping on different bandwagons and such. Now, this got back to Drake, and I would say about maybe 1 or 2 weeks later, Drake released a song, 4 p.m. in Calabasas. Now, a lot of people thought this song was only aimed at P. Diddy because there's a situation between Drake and P. Diddy where allegedly P. Diddy slapped up Drake because Drake stole 0 to 100 for him. P. Diddy wanted Drake to write on the song, but Drake was like, nah, I'm going to take this beat because you're not going to do it justice. And P. Diddy ended up slapping and choking up Drake outside a club. Drake drops 4 p.m. in Calabasas. He takes some shots at Joe. And Joe comes out and says this. He's like, yo, this guy's talking about me. Now, a lot of people viewing from the outside were like, what are you talking about, Joe? You haven't had a hit since 2000. Like, what are you talking about right now? What are you talking about? And that's what people were saying. Now, Joe and Drake, of course, these guys know each other. They've hung out, all this stuff. So from the outside, we don't really know what's going on in their circle. Now, Joe is telling us everything that's going on in the circle, but people weren't believing it. So the song that was released today by French Montana and Drake was actually hinted on a few months ago. Now in this hint and on this song, you can hear Drake saying, pump, pump, pump it up. Now, if you know Joe Budden's catalog, then you know that his hit song is called Pump It Up. Now, a lot of people feel that this is a very cheesy song. He felt right away that Drake was going to diss him. So when that happened, Joe was like, nah. I'm not going to let you get the lead on me. What I'm going to do is I'm going to release some songs on you. So during that time, Joe Budden released 2 diss tracks aimed at Drake. And today, the brand new song, No Shopping, was released. If you guys want to listen to that, there's going to be a link in the description. Hopefully, they did not take it down. So here are some of the things that Drake had to say about Joe Budden. Let's get right into this. So at the beginning of Drake's verse, he goes, pump, pump, pump it up. She got a good head on her, but I pump it up. I'm not a one-hit wonder. They know all my stuff. You let me turn into the nigga that you almost was. So when he says pump, pump, pump it up, he's talking about Joe Budden's hit song and he's making fun of him right there. Now, he also has a line where he's talking about Joe Budden's girl. Now, there was a situation that happened with Joe Budden's girl and Drake. Drake called up Joe and he was like, yo, do you mind if I take such and such, which is Tahiri? Do you mind if I take her out? Now, Drake starts to talk to Tahiri, and this is the line that he has to say about Joe Budden's girl. He goes, she got a good head on her, but I pump it up. Now the next 2 lines, once again, he takes another shot at Joe. And this is what he says. I'm not a one-hit wonder. They know all my stuff. You let me turn into the nigga that you almost was. So to break that down, he's mocking Joe for being a one-hit wonder. And it goes back to the song that I told you guys, which is Pump, Pump, Pump It Up, which was in the early 2000s. So he's saying like, I'm what you wanted to be. I'm what you couldn't be. You were supposed to be this, but you failed. Now things get even crazier in Drake's song because this is what he then said. Took her out once, she got attached to him. Ring, 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 click. I'll get back to him. Drake is basically saying that he took out the dude's girl. Now Drake took her to like the islands or something like that. He took her on a vacation. And while they were out there, Joe was actually calling Drake, calling her to try to find out where she was. I kid you guys not. Drake even throws a reference at this on 4 p.m. in Calabasas. And I'm going to read you guys that. Y'all hear no songs, then you hit my phone like, you did that. And you didn't hit my line, like, where you been at? It's always on some shit like, when can I get a favor, or where my bitch at? Like I'm about to tell you where she's been at. Costa Correas, I got her kidnapped. She ain't sorry, and I ain't sorry. It's too late for sorry. So this whole thing comes back full circle, and I think it's amazing how Drake does this, man. I'm not saying that to deride him or anything like that. I love his music, and I love music from a lot of people out there, but you got to give him props, because what I'm saying is he'll spread out little bitty hints on certain songs, and you can go back to those songs and they're all pieces of a puzzle, and you got to put that puzzle together with those pieces that he's spreading out with these different songs. And I think it's honestly amazing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put all the links in the description. If you guys want to check those out, you can go listen to Drake's diss. You can also go listen to Joe Budden's diss. Like all that stuff is going to be in the description. So anyway, you guys have a great day. Thanks for watching my video.